Hello and welcome back to one of my C# tutorials. So if you haven't, we're in part 3. So part 3, I'm going to be going over nested if statements like these. Okay? So before I do, please remember to hit that like button below the video, subscribe to my channel, which is also below the video, and I've also got my online course, which is below, the link is below the video in the description. And without further ado, I'm going to go into nested if statements. If you haven't seen my videos on C# if statements, please also refer to my previous video on part 2, also in the description. So let's get to it, shall we? So we've got an example of a nested condition. So I'm going to go through the prim approach, prim pedagogy. So prim is predict, run, investigate, modify, make. So I'm going to predict what happens when I run this code. So I think if we enter anything below 18, it's going to meet the condition and go into the first if statement. If it doesn't meet the condition, it's going to go into the else and see if it meets another condition of below 65. So I'm going to run it and see if my prediction is true. So enter my age, I'm going to say 18. Should be in a job because it's 18. I'm going to say 17. Well, should be in bloody school, in learning. 18, I should be in a job. So as to type in 40. So as to type in, say, 40. Yep, should be in a job. So I'm going to now type 65, where it's going to tell me I can retire. So my prediction came true. So let's investigate the following. So the program uses a nested if statement. So if it doesn't meet one condition, it'll go into another statement with another set of conditions. That's basically nested if statement. So the nesting has taken place inside the else. We could have done it inside the if statement as well. Basically, we can do any infinite combinations of anything in code. And what is this operator? That operator, ladies and gentlemen, is the less than operator. So it basically means if it's less, so if the condition was, if I typed in an age less than 18, it's going to go into that, it's met the condition of being under 18, so it's going to say should be in school learning. So that is what that means. Let's try and modify the program so it works using the else if now. So we need to do the else if as needed. So we could do else if age is greater than or equal to, I'm going to say 18, and ampersand age is less than 65. So what that's going to, so the idea is to say I should be in a job. And then other than that, it'll just say I can retire. So I'm going to run that and see if that works. We know less than 18 is going to work, so I'm not going to try that one again because we know already. But I am going to type in 18 because it's equal to. So if it's equal to 18, I should be in a job. And if I was to type in, say, 64 or even 63, yep, should be in a job. If I was to type in 65 or more, then what it's going to do, it's over 18 and it's over 65. So it's not under 65, so I can retire. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the code that we've modified from nested into a series of elifs. Now we've got a harder one to do. We need to make a new program that will find the largest of 3 numbers. So How do we do that, you may ask? Well, I tell you. It's a lot of nesting, yeah? So, what I am gonna do is this. So, what we can see here is we've got a whole load of ifs, which what I should have done was this. So, what we got here, we're entering 3 numbers. So if one number is greater than the second, so if the first number is greater than the second number, it's going to nest in saying, right, is the first number greater than the third number? If it is, it's going to go into the first number being the greatest. Otherwise, the third one is going to be the greatest. So I'm not going to test them all out. I'm just going to go through one example, just using this if statement. So while that's loading, because C# it takes forever to load, so I'm going to enter a number, 24, 31, 22. So value 2 is value 2 is larger than value 1. And it's larger than value 3. So the second number is the greatest. So it's not met that condition, so it's gone in here instead. If I was to, however, enter value 1 being the biggest, so I'm going to enter 44, 34. So value 1 is larger than value 2. So now I need a third number, which is going to be 24. So the first number is greater than the 3. So we've met that condition, and it's met that condition. If I was to put a number that's larger than the first two, it would have gone into the else statement within that nested if statement. And that is the task. So I'm going to move on from that. So I'm going to move on. I'm going to press on. Right. Here, we need to ask a user to enter a number. If they enter 5, display you win. If they enter a number above 5, display is too high, and ask them to input another number. If the second number is 5, we say you win, otherwise we say you lose. So, the way I would do this, so we've got a number. So I am going to just get that chunk example here. So we want to do something like this. So we've got a num, integer variable called num, prompt the user to enter a number, and if that number is equal to 5, display you win. Here, this is assuming that we've entered the number too high. So if it's over 5, we say it's too high. Then we do another integer variable, num2, ask them to enter a number. So if the answer is num2, take away the first number, and the answer is 5, we say you win. Otherwise, we're going to say you lose. Okay? And then what we can do here is else. And what we're going to do is we're going to say too low. We're going to say too low. And then we're going to get them to enter a number. Enter another number. Where we got answer, in the last one, we did the minus if it was too high to get to 5. Now we want to do a plus. And then we get that if-else statement exactly the same. So this if statement, if and else is inside the else statement. So I'm going to run it, and we're going to test one of them. So we're not going to test the top one, which is equal to 5, because we know what will happen. And you will see my previous video on if statements in parts 1 and 2. So anyway, I'm going to enter a number, like 7. Too high, try again, 2. Right. So I've entered a 2, 7's too high, I've entered a 2. So it should be num, so it should be num take away num2. That's what it really should be. So num take away num2. So I'm going to test that again. And the reason why we're doing this is because the more we test, the better. So you always want to test your code before saying, right, done. Okay? And it will load, don't you worry. Right, enter a number. So I'm going to enter 7. That's too high. I'm going to enter 2 as num, take away num2 is a 5. If I decide to do 7 and 4, it's going to say you lose because it's not equal to 5. So I'm going to enter a number that's too low, like a 4 or a 3 even. That's too low, so I'm going to enter a 2. You win because num2 plus num is 5. If I was to have entered 3, I would still lose because the number is too high. Basically, any number other than 5, I would have lost. But that is how the nesting works. Okay? So we've done some nesting and we've done some elifs. And now, for another 2, and then we'll be done. I'm not going to go through all of the if statements here because the video will be too long. So, let's have a look. We need to create a C# program, ask the user if it's raining, they say yes, say if it's windy. If they answer yes again, say it's too windy for an umbrella. Otherwise, we say take an umbrella. If it's not raining, ask if it's sunny. If it is, put on sunscreen. Otherwise, we say have a nice day. So let's see how we're going to actually do that. So we got our string. First part of the string. So we got string, rain, windy, sunny. Is it raining? So what you'll notice here this time, we've got rain equals. So we can't exactly do the equal to. So we need rain.equals. So you need a lowercase e for equals. So this means if rain is equal to yes, or rain is equal to yes in uppercase. So it's going to go in if it's windy. And if it's windy, say it's too windy for an umbrella. Otherwise, say take an umbrella. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into else. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to ask the perfect question of, is it sunny? So I'm going to say, is it sunny? And then we are going to say, if sunny dot equals, and in brackets, quote, yes, or shift and for backward slash, sunny dot equals, brackets, yes, or sunny dot equals, brackets, yes. Then we do curly brackets, and then we are basically going to say something like put on sunscreen. So console.write as usual. And if it's not, that is where we're going to have the else statement of have a nice day. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our code. So let's have a test and let's see that working in action. Yep, it will take some time. It's blooming C#. So is it raining? So I'm going to say yes in all cases. And is it windy? I'm going to say yes. Too windy for an umbrella. So we've tested that condition, said it was raining. And then basically saying if it is, too windy for an umbrella. So it's met that condition. Now I'm going to do the sunny one. So is it raining? I'm going to just say no. So it's asking, is it sunny? So could say, is it sunny? No, it's not. Enter. So it's met the condition. So it's not met the condition if it's raining. So it's asking, is it sunny? Because I decided to type in no, it's not met any of these conditions. So it's gone into have a nice day instead. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is that task. Done and dusted. Last task of this video is this one. Create a C# program that will ask the user to select red, green, or blue. If I enter red, so this is the task. So this one is going to require us to use a series of else-if statements. Okay, so we will need a variable, string, called color. I'm going to do console.writeLine. So we're going to say enter a color, done. Then we're going to do color equals convert to string console.readLine. So that's what we got. So now what we will need in this one, we need if color. So if color equals brackets quotes red, or color dot equals red, yep, so if any of these colors is equal to red, lowercase, red, 1 capital R, and 1 all uppercase, then we're going to say you selected red. Okay? Then we got else if color dot equals green, or color equals green, or color equals green. Curly brackets, console, right line, we're just going to say we selected green. Yep, so we've got color equals green. What I should have done was put the bracket here, or color equals green. So I've done one bracket too many there. So in code, we have to be very careful on how we do it. And then we got one for blue, and then else. So blue, exactly the same formula, color dot equals brackets and in quotes blue. So I'm going to run the code, and we're going to see what happens. So I'm going to enter a color. So I'm going to enter blue. So it's not equal to any of the reds. So it's not met that condition. It's not going to be the green, so it's not met that condition. And because I typed in blue all lowercase, it's met that condition. So it's going to say you selected blue. If I was to run that and say type in green. So it wouldn't have met red. If I was to type in green all uppercase, it's met that condition, so it's going to say you selected green. And if I was to type in any of the reds, it's going to go and say I've selected red. Otherwise, if I was to type in something else like brown, for instance, it won't meet any of these conditions. So if I press enter, it's going to say incorrect choice. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is some of the tasks that I've gone through. And this is how to do else if and nested if statements using C#. So please be sure to hit that like. And please also remember to hit that subscribe button. And another way to subscribe is to just click on this link which is below each video I place. And if you like my content and you want to find out more about what I do, I've also got an online course called Introduction to Computer Systems on the Udemy website. So you just need to click on it, and there we go. So this is my online course, Introduction to Computer Systems. So this is the landing page for that course. So in it, you will learn. So these are some of the things we'll learn, like explaining the role of the central processing unit, describe the components of the CPU, provide an introduction to assembly language, which is low-level programming, explain the factors that affect the performance of the central processing unit, and I've also put in another bit that I'm interested in, the physics of overclocking the CPU, which may me develop an interest in electronics and also physics. So there's a lot more to it than even we realized. So this is the course content. So you've got computer systems, so I'm introducing you to it. Then I'm going into the different forms of architecture and assembly language. Then I'm going into the factors that affect it and the physics of overclocking the CPU. And then I'm going into logic, so combinational logic systems, making the logic gates, sequential logic systems, semiconductors. Then I go into all things binary, where we introduce you to number systems, all the way down to doing binary and sound, images and text. And then finally we got input and output devices and the different forms of storage, so that's where memory will come in. And then my assessment is basically one big quiz of 30 questions. So you don't need any knowledge to do this course. All you need is a computer with stable internet connection. So that's all you really need there. And why you should do the course? Well, wherever I don't know, I'll go out and learn it. So the way my brain is wired is I'm on the autism spectrum. So it will be an asset in helping you get through the online courses that we provide. So we understand how to explain things in simple terms due to my teaching background. So you could think of us as a real-life version of, say, Sheldon Cooper from Big Bang Theory, minus the rudeness, or a C-3PO, but without the glitches. So I'm on the autism spectrum, so we're on the autism spectrum and have a rough idea on how to talk to them and relate to them. And my teaching style is that style I've crafted, and one that works in a way that some people don't get if they only had tuition in the classroom or just want to study the subject a lot more. So this course provides you with the opportunity to go further than you would in the subject that you want to pursue. So those are some of the reasons why you should consider buying this online course, because once you buy it, it's yours for a lifetime. For some of my videos, I will go through programming tasks. So if you want to do these yourself, I have put a REPL link below on my programming videos. So you just click on REPL, and this is what you need if you haven't signed up at all. So you just click sign up. If you've got an account, you just click login, and once you've logged in or signed up, this is the page that will appear. So if I was to log in right now, this is the page. So this will appear. So that will be the page there. And in addition to all that, I am also a private tutor where I offer my private tutoring services specializing in ICT and computer science. And I look forward to you coming to me for lessons. Goodbye for now.